And apologies about that. We had no clue, but our stream had just suddenly stopped being live without telling us that it stopped. Uh, so we are sorry that we've missed a little bit of the start of the game. The current score is 4-1 in favor of the Huskies. We just came back from an injury to a Mavericks player. Hopefully she's all right. But we are excited to be back and streaming the game for you here. And hopefully our stream does not disconnect again. From the near sidelines, the Huskies have possession, trying to pass into the end zone, but that one is a missed pass. It sails right by the hands of Huskies player number 15, and the Mavericks get a lucky break there. Long range pass option, hammer throw, unsuccessful, and the Huskies will be right back on offense. Lateral pass made to 9. 9 with it still. Has possession again, looking for options. Throw cut in towards the center. 12 drops it back for 9. 9 once again looking for options here. Throws over, and the pass is dropped in the end zone. Unfortunate for the Huskies. A beautiful opportunity to score their 5th, but unable to convert. Now the Mavericks with another long-range pass attempt, but that one sails over the heads of both Mavericks players, and the Huskies are hustling right back the other way. 16 tries to make a sharp short pass, but that one is spiked down by the receiver. And another really long-range Hail Mary throw style is picked off by the Huskies, and these Hail Mary throws are just not working out for the Mavericks. That one is received by 16, who passes to 13, who fumbles it and ends up dropping it. Huskies getting a lot of good opportunities close to the end zone and within the end zone, but they just keep dropping it when it matters most. Some solid defense there by the Huskies. Force a turnover, and now 9's with it on the near side. Finds 26, trying to centralize. Drops it back there for 9. 9 back for 26, centralizing the disc. Calling his options forward. Tries to make a low, sharp throw, but that one slips through the fingers of 13, and the Mavericks will regain possession. Mavericks on the near side boundary line. Not much space to work with. Tries to make a sharp throw, but it's turned over, and it'll be a throw from right outside the end zone, and the Huskies score. Score is 5-1 for the Huskies. The Mavericks there just trying to make too many long-range throws, not playing as a complete team, not utilizing all the options. They're short and medium distances. They're going for the Hail Mary throws, and they just aren't working out. And they kept turning it over, and eventually the Huskies, yes, they had a couple dropped attempts there, dropped conversions, but they did manage to pick it in the end, and they scored another point because of that, and they've just shown some phenomenal teamwork so far. Still plenty of time left in this one for the Mavericks to make a comeback here. But if they want to do so, they got to come up with a strategy that is going to work to utilize everyone on the team, and they have to try and avoid all the Hail Mary throws. Mavericks currently strategizing before the disc is pulled, and you got to think they're going to be talking about how to get their offense going here. They on the first point and only point of the game for them, they did have some nice quick passing, sharp passing, and some good senses, but they just need to refine that. It's been kind of lost on them for the last 4 points. Disc is pulled and is going to be caught at the 40. Mavericks 26. looking for options. Makes a nice lateral pass and some quick passing here, and that's what you like to see from the Mavericks. Some nice lateral passing, and there's another one of those long-range Hail Mary throws, and that is easily intercepted there by the Huskies. And again, they just have to try and avoid those long-range passes. They're just too readable, and there's too much hang time for the disc to be picked off. Now Huskies completing their sharp short throws, and a nice low throw to get by the defenders of the Mavericks. But Mavericks, a nice read there from Wang of the Mavericks, and he slaps that one down, and possession will be regained there for the Mavericks. Stall count at 6. Makes a pass. Wang with it now on the near side. Looking for options. Being defended well. Throw up. Intercepted by 21. And the Huskies go back the other way. Long range throw is being run for. Wind carrying it. It's sailing. Floating back. And a nice catch there by number 35 for the Huskies as that pass hooked back around. And an excellent read there allowed him to catch it. Hammer throw attempt. That one wobbling in the air, but does manage to be caught by 21, who passes it in and centralizes it to number 32. 32 looking for options. Finds 13 on the near side. Centralizing it again. Back to 32. Nearing that end zone. 21 in and scores. Huskies with a 6-1 lead. And they've just been playing phenomenally as a team so far. Very complete game, complete passing. We've seen them excel at both the short range quick options and the longer range options when time and space makes itself available. Grant, what have you thought about the Huskies gameplay so far, especially that last chance they had there?
Well, I mean, they're so in sync right now. It just feels like nothing can stop them at the moment, really. I mean, they just have such good recognition. You know, they're taking those safe, short passes, but as soon as they overwhelm the Mavericks defense, they recognize that they can take that long shot, that deep throw, and it's working out for them, and that's what we saw in the last play. And once again, if they just keep that up, I think they're going to pull off this win.
Indeed, definitely very in sync, as you said. Playing great as a team, playing some excellent defense as well, with a nice interception there was made to even generate that play in the first place. So far the Huskies playing great on both sides of the disc. Disc landing right at center field. I'll find Lee. Lee looking for options. Being defended well, finds Kai. Kai with a low pass, trying to slide for it is the Mavericks, but unable to get it. And the Huskies are coming back the other way, making their nice, sharp lateral passes once more. Passes it in, but that one bounces right off the hands of Huskies number 7, and the Mavericks will regain possession. But immediately, some nice defense from number 7 turns it over, and it is caught, and that'll be another point for the Huskies. Little bit of a bobble there on that catch, but managed to catch it in the end and in the end zone, and that is another point for the Huskies, who now lead 7-1. And with 7 points on the board for the Huskies, we have reached our halftime point. Huskies playing a really, really complete game so far. Mavericks have been on the back foot for almost all of this game, wouldn't you say so, Grant?
Yeah, I mean, it's been tough, especially when you have to deal with an offense like the Huskies are pulling off right now. I think the most important thing for the Mavericks to do right now is understand that this game isn't lost. It's still winnable. And if they keep their heads in this game, I think they can pull off a comeback and win this game, move themselves on in this tournament. It's very possible. They're a solid team, so they just have to keep their heads high, and I think they can still win this.
Yeah, obviously every team here that you're going to see is a pretty good team as they made it to OFSAA in the first place. Some teams here are definitely really, really strong, and some teams are just strong. But you've always seen upsets happen in the past, and there's always comebacks that have happened. There's always options and things that can happen, and you can't really predict it. As long as you just keep your head up, you stay in the zone, and you play the game that you know how to play and the game that you love, that is how you'll win. But up here in the media booth, it is quite hot, and we have a quite hot day here at Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario. I'm sure the players are feeling it out there. But some nice warmth here, very clear skies, it's sunny. And approaching the end of halftime here, and we're prepared to see both teams take the field again. Now, the Huskies will look to continue their dominant pressure here and drive forward their offense to victory, and the Mavericks will look to contain them, play some shutdown defense, and try to transition to offense of their own to try and make a comeback in this one. Down 6 points so far. They're gonna have to mount quite the comeback to get back into this one. But like I've said, anything is possible. They just have to put their mind to it, not get too down that they're down in the game. Just really focus on what they know that they can do and execute. Both teams going over their game plan. Mavericks will pull the disc to the Huskies to start off the second half. And the Huskies signal that they are ready. And so the disc is pulled. It'll land at and it looks like it is going to drift out of bounds, but it is stopped by the foot of the official. Huskies with possession in their own side of the field. At a pass that misses the mark, ends up on the field, and it'll be a turnover, and now the Mavericks with possession. Mavericks making a sharp pass, but bobbled and caught by a Huskies player. Frisbee just bouncing off the hands there of the Mavericks player. And some nice movement there from the Huskies, driving forward once more. And once again, Huskies making some really good short passes, but several times they've just missed that final one. And that happens to them again here, and the Mavericks have possession down right by their end zone. No room for error here. Mavericks number 7 centralizing with the disc. Makes a short pass, bounces off the hands of a teammate, but he manages to save it. by getting over there in time. Mavericks still stuck deep in their own end, and the pass is thrown straight into a Huskies player, and now the Huskies will take over on offense just a mere 5 yards out of the end zone. Huskies, sharp pass, just a little too fast to catch up to. And the Mavericks will regain possession. And once again, Huskies, who have been really good at passing all game, just seem to struggle a little bit with making that final completion pass to score. Turnover right outside the Mavericks end zone, and the Huskies will score. Mavericks just making too many turnovers in their own end, real deep in their zone. They're turning it over 1-2 yards out of their end zone, and you just can't do that. Huskies putting some real big pressure on all their players over there, making it increasingly difficult to get out of their own end. And the Huskies have been doing a great job of that. Mavericks have to try and find a way to counter it. So far, Grant, we've talked a lot about the Huskies' offense, but what do we think about their defense so far?
Well, I mean, the Huskies' defense is very solid as well. I mean, I think that the best defense is the best offense, and that's showing for the Huskies. I know you wanted me to talk about the defense, but I'm going to bring it back to the offense because it's so strong that they just don't need to be on defense often. And as soon as they do lose possession, they're right back on the disc. They're overwhelming the Mavericks, just like you were saying, and it's really, really helping them out this game, and it's helping them take this lead further and further.
Indeed, they are utilizing the good strategy of just trying to put the full pressure on by just taking away as much time and space as possible from the Mavericks attackers, not letting them gain any space and trying to cut off as much time as possible, trying to force that stall count up as quickly as possible, force the Mavericks to make mistakes, which has been successful so far. Here's Chan with it. Chan looking for options, finds a teammate, finds Kai. Kai finds Chan. Chan looking for space. Hammer throw. Beautiful pass received by the Mavericks. And now they have their first dangerous opportunity in a while. There's Chan with it again. Drops it back. And here's Kai. Kai with it. Nice sharp throw. And that is caught by the Mavericks. And the Mavericks get their first point of the second half and their first point in a long time. But that was an excellent showing of what the Mavericks offense is capable of. We know they're capable of it. They just have to stay consistent and utilize these options all the time. No team is perfect, and the Huskies aren't perfect. They're going to make mistakes, and the Mavericks need to capitalize on them, which they did there. They just need to do that more consistently if they want to make a comeback in this one. But that offense doesn't happen there without the beautiful hammer throw there from Chan. Chan with the excellent field vision finds an open teammate and just hucks that thing, and a beautiful catch there. And the Huskies defense was left way behind the play, and they were just a little too slow to catch up. And that is how you can exploit the kind of full press that the teams like the Huskies use. If you spread out enough, every pass you make will force the defenders to move a lot more than if they're just playing passing lane coverage. If they're playing right on you and you manage to slip away, they have to run all the way after you. And the Huskies had to do that there, and they weren't fast enough. And some good long-range pass completed there by the Mavericks. And they have to try and do that again. But first here, they have to play some good shutdown defense. Take away these lateral and backward passes. And throw hucked long range there by the Huskies, but that one is way off the mark and sails out of bounds. The Mavericks will take that one all day, and they'll see if they can convert on offense once again. 3 defenders on right now. And a nice low pass, and immediately 3 defenders on. Disc carrier being crowded by defenders. A lot of Mavericks players left open. However, it's difficult to get the pass out when defenders are 3 defenders are so close and covering your options. You have to make some perfect seamless passes to get it by the arms and the bodies of the defenders. They keep handing it off in short range, but not really gaining any distance. They have to try and make a long throw, and they do, and it's received well. And this is where the Mavericks offense can go to work here if they move quickly. Making some good lateral passes to bypass the trio of defenders. Fakes the long throw, but makes a short one. Bastos with it on the near side. Hands it off to Cheng. Cheng with it. Back to Bastos. Bastos cycling it around. Centralize it. Back to Bastos. Bastos finds Ewan. Back to Bastos. The trio of defenders on him. If he could find someone open, they have some passes chained up, but the throw a little high in the air, and that one is smacked down there by the Huskies. Mavericks had a beautiful opportunity to score there, but the throw was just a little bit high, and the height was not the advantage of the Mavericks player in that case. Here the Huskies showing their speed by storming down the field, already at the 35-yard line within the Mavericks end. Throw put up, intercepted there by the Mavericks defense. Excellent work. Mavericks trying to come back the other way. Ewan with it. Look for options. Cheng on the side. Being counted out. Ewan with it again. Making some good sideline passes here. Cheng finds a centralized option in Wang. Wang to Bastos. Bastos in with a nice centralized option, guarded by 3 defenders. Finds Cheng. Cheng hands it back off to Bastos. Bastos pinned down by the edge. Finds Cheng, who's even closer to the boundary line now. Needs help here. Tries to sharp low pass to Bastos. Unable to get it. Bastos has to get back on defense. Long range throw put up in the air and run for, but it is not going to be able to be received there by the Huskies. The throw was just a little too fast, and the runner just a little too slow after playing some tiring defense there. And that's the one thing with the Huskies' defensive style here. They are playing a very energy-expensive defense style. They have to stick right with the attacking players, and that means moving every which way they do. Here are the Mavericks. They have to break it out of their own end. Bastos with it. Has to find some options here at distance to try and create separation, trying to create the time and space that they need to get away from this pressuring Huskies defense that really works to pressure the carrier. And look at that blocked pass there from the Huskies. Hucks that one in to the end zone, and the Huskies will score. Huskies doing some really great work to pressure the Mavericks attackers to making passes that they don't like. And that's exactly a showcase of what happened there. And indeed, when things like that happen and you're trying to make those passes when you're covered by so many defenders, bad things will happen. Interceptions happen because they're not the passes you want to be making. They're not the passes you're comfortable with. The Mavericks just need to try and focus on moving the disc real fast. Before the trio of defenders can pressure the carrier, they have to try and just rapid pass, move. As the second they stop and stand still for too long, immediately they're going to be full pressure there by the trio of defenders that the Huskies like to use, and then the passing lanes are severely cut down by those defenders who have some great reach and good reads that we've seen so far, able to shut down the defense or pardon me, the offense of the Mavericks. Grant, what if you thought about how the Mavericks are playing so far? What do you think they need to do in order to try and score more?
Well, I think that the Huskies are doing a good job of forcing them wide. You know, they're putting 3 players on the person with the disc, and they're completely fine with having the Mavericks make a short pass wide because they're just going to keep forcing them outside to the borderline. And then you see, even if the Mavericks are advancing down, they're getting kind of blocked in and they're not able to make any strong passes. So if the Mavericks want to pull ahead in this game, they need to be looking to the middle, because looking to the side, you know, it's going to work for about 20 yards. But once you get too close to that border, that's when the Huskies are just closing all the opportunities off, and that's typically where these turnovers are happening. So if the Mavericks want to pull ahead, they just need to look to the middle more.
I think that is an excellent point there. Huskies have just been so good at forcing the offense over to the sidelines. And like you said, when they're over at the sidelines, there's really only 3 spaces to cover, side, forward. You don't really have to worry about back. The more times they pass back to the side, the further trapped they get. A nice diving catch there by Kai. Kai looking for options here. Close to the Huskies' end zone. Centralizes it. Nice sharp pass. Caught there by the Mavericks, and the Mavericks score. And that was a good opportunity, showing why centralizing the disc is such a good idea. Huskies defenders weren't able to really collapse on them in time and pin them to the sides like they had before. And way more options were available there for the Mavericks in terms of passes, and they were able to convert because they were able to find many different defenders. Mavericks showing some good potential. Mavericks showing some good potential so far. You know, there's always the possibility to make comebacks in games such as these. The Mavericks have shown that when they do play their offense correctly, when they do centralize that disc, they are a threat to be reckoned with. We just saw that last play, right, Grant? You know, they make some quick, sharp passes, find some open space, make some good diving recoveries when they have to. And if they just keep playing that, keep playing gritty, finding that center space, we know they can convert on all different chances. Disc is pulled, and the Huskies are back on offense here. And that pass misses the mark. Mavericks gain possession off that turnover. The Mavericks have been playing some more solid defense as of late, and playing more of a complete game. Communication has been better, but once again, over at the side now, and they have to try and push it out. Finds a nice pass. If they go quickly, oh, unfortunately, that pass didn't work out. May have been tipped. And a nice defensive block there from the Mavericks. And if they can go back the other way quickly, they can recover this. Throw up, unable to be caught, bounces right off the hands. And we just saw a couple quick events happen there real quick. So let's summarize. A good play made to get out of the dangerous side space. Throw over the defenders to player left wide open because of the triple team that the Huskies have been running. It was caught, and It looked like a break. It was a 2-on-1, and the throw, I think a defender might have gotten back just in time from the triple team defense and got just the fingertips on the disc and caused it to spin out a little to the side, and the pass didn't go where it wanted. And the Huskies managed to pick it up from there, and after they did that, they tried to make a pass, but the Mavericks player who just attempted the pass blocked the pass out after on that fast break, got it back, tried to throw it again. It sailed up in the air and just wasn't able to catch it. But dangerous opportunities for both teams there and some great defense from both. Huskies with it now. Long range huck. And unable to be caught by the Huskies player. What a throw, though. That was some impressive accuracy there. Almost able to pick it up. Amazing defense there by the Huskies, and they'll be able to transition this onto offense. And just like that, the Huskies have scored their 10th point. Double digits. We see some teams on the sidelines as well down there in the football end zones getting warm for next games after these ones. As of course, we'll be bringing you OFSAA Ultimate Frisbee action all day up until 6 p.m. here. And again, tomorrow, Ultimate Frisbee action starting same time in the morning until 4, which will conclude with our gold medal game to crown our OFSAA champion. But so far, in game 1 of day 1, the Huskies lead 10-3 over the Mavericks here in the second half. And of course, 2 games happening on this field at once. The game that we are broadcasting is happening on the near side. On the other side of the field, we have the KSS broadcasting crew bringing you that game. So if you're interested in watching that, you can head on over there. Of course, there's also some other fields being played on as well, and they also have some streams going. So we are streaming lots of Ultimate OFSAA action here today and tomorrow. And the disc is pulled, and that settles nicely right on the 45. Mavericks. Chan looking for options. Finds Bastos. Bastos looking for options. Finds Chan. Chan, remember, has that excellent hammer throw. It makes a nice long-range pass, and a beautiful catch there from Sinclair. Sinclair looking for options. Drops it back to Kai. Kai finds Bastos. Bastos, amazing jumping catch, one-handed to keep the offense alive. Bastos looking for options. Finds Chan. Chan fakes the throw. Gets the defender out, and beautifully done. Mavericks convert and pick up a point there. And that is just an excellent showing of what the Mavericks look like with coordinated teamwork. Wouldn't you say so, Grant?
Yeah, I would say so. I also want to bring attention to the Huskies' defense. It seemed like they were playing a bit more of a man-to-man style defense. They weren't pressing really hard on the player with the disc. And I feel like that might have not been the best decision because it allowed the Mavericks to look to the central part of the field more, and then that resulted in them getting a point. So I think the Huskies, they need to be switching back to that 3-on-1 type of press, and then that's going to keep them with this lead, keep them in this game, because we see with a different style of defense, the Mavericks are taking advantage of that.
Indeed, Mavericks are really good at making those nice space gathering passes when you let them, especially with players like Chan and Bastos out there. We saw the really athletic jumping catch, and you know there's a lot of talent on that team. If you give them time and space to work with, they will use it. And disc is pulled there by the Mavericks. Husky is picking that one up right on the boundary. That's thrown over there to 9. 9 looking for options here. Huskies trying to make some short passes, but that one is picked off. Long range pass there made by the Mavericks, trying to run it down, and it's caught. And some other great passing play, and the long range Hail Mary throw pays off for the Mavericks. And they get their second point in a row. Mavericks pretty excited over that one. Nice long range catch, a way to run it down there as well from the Mavericks. And of course, way to complete it there at the end, converting that. And we await the return of play. It'll be the Mavericks pulling the disc over to the Huskies. Disc is pulled there over to the 42. You're looking for options. Finds 32. 32. Looking for space. It drops it back to 33. And the Huskies, once again, making their backwards passes. And the Mavericks are okay with letting them work backwards. It's really the forward that they don't want to let happen. And beautiful defense there from Bastos, who smacks that one right out of the air. And a nice one-handed grab there to save that throw that was just a little high there by number 13 from the Mavericks. But unfortunately, they drop a short-range pass on the 50, and the Huskies will take over once more. And it's 33. Finds 13. He snaps it over to 32. Back to 13. Good short-range, quick passing here from the Huskies. 32. Looking for options. Has that backwards pass to 13. Takes it. 13. Looking at 33. Finds 32 in a more central location. Hammer throw attempt. Wind carrying. And it is caught. But it is caught significantly out of bounds. And it will be turned over to the Mavericks. Mavericks with a long, sharp throw being run down, but smacked away by number 33. Unfortunately, some of those longer range throws aren't going to work out with players like number 33 and number 32 of the Huskies out there who have been blessed with the gene of height. Huskies number 12 catching that one right on the sideline, finds 32. Over to 33 again. 32 catches again. Huskies doing a really good job utilizing the entire field space. But once again, we see them unable to complete the final pass. Huskies have been so great with their passing work to get close to the end zone, get towards the end zone. But a lot of times we've seen them struggle to complete that final pass to get that point. Obviously, they have converted 10 times, but there's been a lot of times when they have been able to convert, and this game could already be over if they hit them all. Turned over there by the Mavericks. unable to catch that pass. Huskies player with a good sprint burst there to evade the defender. Finds back to number 13 laterally. Over to 32 on the near sidelines. Looking for options here. Wants to try and huck it into the end zone, but no one's available for that short range throw. Finds 33, back to 32 in a central location. And that will be a point there for the Huskies, who have reached point number 11. There are 3 minutes left in the game here. Huskies leading 11-5. And the Mavericks really need to mount something here, some real quick offense, and try and create as many turnovers on defense as possible if they want to try and save this game. Looking unlikely, but things have happened before, and we can't discount anything. Huskies preparing to pull the disc, have played a really complete game so far the entire time. Utilizing some great full pressure defensive strategies. The Mavericks offense started off really weak as they couldn't figure out how to overcome it, but slowly but surely the Mavericks have been figuring it out, and they have gotten some points on the board here, but it seems like it might be too little too late, as there's not that much time left in the game, as the official has said. And that pass has no one anywhere close to it except Huskies players. Fortunately, tried to curve the pass, but just didn't work out. A little bit too soon of a release, and that one traveled perfectly straight. And here's Huskies number 19 looking for options. Finds number 4. Trying to find a teammate. Spikes that one down into the ground. The Mavericks will take over. Chan with it. Chan making a quick pass to Wang. Back to Chan. Chan having to fall back to catch that one. A little bit of a hard pass, but he does receive it in the end and finds 30. One-handed grab by Kai. Kai throws that one upside down over to Chan, and Chan puts some curve on that one, allows it to be grabbed by a Mavericks player. Back to Kai. Kai looking for options here. Should look for Chan here in this spot, and she does. Chan with the long-range pass attempt, but that one didn't get enough air on it. It was too low to the ground and hit the ground before it was able to get to the hands of the receiving teammate. Huskies trying to break out of their own end. Have to hold on to this lead and play defensively for the rest of this one to win. Back to 15. Long range throw there from the Huskies, and it's going to be run down. Unable to be caught, though, by number 35 from the Huskies. But it shouldn't really matter. At this point, there can't be more than a minute left in the game. And with the Huskies leading 11-5, it looks like they will come up with the double leap. Mavericks trying to work up the field. But pass unable to be complete, and possession is turned over back to the Huskies. Huskies might be able to grab another point here before the game is done. Of course, normally Ultimate is a game played to score a victory, but when you have so many teams lined up to play on the same fields, to get through the day, they're going to need to put a time limit on these games. And the Huskies pick up another point. And it is 12-5 in favor of the Huskies. And that'll do it for game one on day one. Huskies versus Mavericks. And the Huskies will come away with the victory. Well, Grant, what did you make of both teams throughout this game?
Well, I just want to say, good for the Mavericks in that second half. I mean, I think they definitely turned it around, and it was a much closer half. I think they realized something. They realized that once they regain possession, if they make a quick pass before the Huskies can set up their defense, they can take advantage of that, take advantage of their maybe a bit of an overcommit, and then look for that long throw. And that's what worked out for them quite a few times in that second half. So yeah, I just want to say, good for the Huskies, good for the Mavericks. Really, really interesting second half. And I'm excited to see what both of these teams do later on in the tournament.
Indeed, a well-fought battle from both teams here in this one. And we are looking forward to bringing you more OFSAA Ultimate action here today. Overall, just a really well-fought battle here from both these teams. And coming up next at 10:15, we'll have Winston Churchill versus Saunders. And so you don't want to miss that one. And so I hope you join us once again. I hope you join us once again for some more OFSAA Ultimate action here in a couple minutes. We will